Hi guys, welcome back. This is day 3 of working on this saw. We've made a little bit of progress on it. Got the electricals hooked up and the motor's working. The saw is sawing, but the hydraulic unit is still not working. A couple things we discovered yesterday. The gearbox, the oil in that was completely dry. This had been, looks like it had been dropped on its ass end at one time because the shifter lever for the gearbox was busted. It's missing, so I'm going to have to fix that. It's busted off inside of the housing a little bit, so I'm hoping the plan is to weld a nut to that shaft, and then shift gears I can just use a wrench. It was leaking oil on the back side, and it looked like there was a nipple there. I thought it was maybe a vent pipe. Looking at the diagram on this, it's actually just an oiler, an oil cup. So it's busted off inside too, so I'm going to have to drill that out and extract it out. I think I have an oiler that I put back in it. But with the gear oil in there, it runs so much more quiet now. We also discovered that the oil tank had a leak. Big crack running along the side here. And the first time I went and looked at this unit, it was sitting on the guy's trailer with a foot of snow on it. So it sat outside for quite a while. And I'm assuming that it had water in the tank, and it expanded and cracked the tank. So I used some Scotch weld. Got that sealed up. I feel real confident that it's going to hold. That stuff's good stuff. We use it on the F-22s at work. And it's dry, so I don't think it's leaking. There is a little oil in the bottom down here, but that was from when I was filling the tank. I spilled some. The problem I'm having now is the hydraulics is still not working. I've taken this unit off 3 times now. I think you've only seen one in the last video. My camera died and I didn't know, so I missed some footage there. But I've taken that off, completely disassembled it, cleaned everything that I could, pulled there's some couple seat needle valves in there, cleaned those up. There's a ball bearing that acts as a check valve that was stuck and frozen, so I cleaned that up. Piston rings were stuck, got those freed up. So now you can see there's a little oil around this rim, so it is drawing oil in it. So I feel confident that this unit's working. I'm pretty sure now that it's the pump, which is back under this mess. And looking at the drawings, it's real simple. All it is a piston and another ball bearing that acts as a check valve. And I'm thinking that that ball bearing is frozen, just like it was on this one. And I really don't want to try to disassemble this. I got to take this whole mess off to be able to get to that. So the plan is to pull this hydraulics, probably maybe the spring, give me a little more access in there. I'm going to try to see if I can bust it loose with a piece of tie wire. If that don't work, I'll hit it with a couple 100 pounds of pressure from the air compressor. And hopefully we can get that damn thing freed up. If not, we'll have to pull everything apart. So that's the game plan. Let me go ahead and run this for a second for you and hear how quiet this is now. It's rocking a little bit side to side. That's just because I'm sitting on a piece of tile on this back corner. So it's not sitting level, but let me go ahead and kick on the phase converter and you can hear this run. lot quieter than before, isn't it? So I guess we'll get started. Another thing I'm going to have to tackle is the water pump for the coolant. It's completely seized up too. That might be a lost cause. I mean, it's just got rust caked around it. So if it is, we'll go to another route, electric pump or something in there. Or if I get that other saw from that guy, use that one. Or we'll scrap this one and use the other one. I don't know. So let's get started. Pull this hydraulic unit out. See if we get lucky. That tight. Do have some oil right here. I don't know where the hell it's coming from. It must be leaking between the base of that hydraulic unit and the table. So when I assemble this for the last time, I might make a gasket for that. You can see how that pump pushed over. It's this spring here, which kind of makes it difficult to put it back all together, get the holes lined up just right. This one rod gets in the freaking way every time. Right in there is that check valve I was talking about, the ball bearing. You can see under my arm there. Pull this spring out. Interesting. 2 springs and a sleeve. Got a bunch of junk in the tank again, but I gotta drain that out anyway. And now you can see in there a little better. See what I'm talking about. This is a eccentric cam. And as it's spinning, it's pushing down right here. This is the top of the pump. So it pushes down, comes back up and out of that tube, through the hydraulic unit, into the tank, and then back up through the pump. One other thing real quick, told you it was leaking oil right here. And you can see why. This is all bare metal. Right here's got paint, so there's a little bit of a lip. Wasn't getting a good seal, so I'll scrape that off and clean that up so it seals good. So I'm still fighting this damn thing. Pull the hydraulics out. Drain the oil. Took the copper tube off here so I could squirt some penetrant in there. And I let that sit for a while. And I blasted it with the air. And I did get a big chunk of shit that dislodged. And it was blowing through, so I figured I had one. But it's still not pumping. So I'm tired of farting around, taking shortcuts. I'm just gonna pull all this crap off and use a cherry picker. Hopefully just lift her straight up so I can get to that pump. The hardest part is just gonna be all this stuff. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to get to it. If this damn belt guard wasn't on here, it would just pop right up, be a piece of cake. But since this is on there, in order to do it, I need to pull the cover, pull the gear off here. All this crap up inside of here I need to get out. And then hopefully I can lift her up. So that's the plan. did pop that loose. I didn't film it, I just took a piece of wood, wedged it in there, and gave it a smack, and it popped loose. Battery's about to die, but this is the clutch in here. When you push this lever, it forces these apart, which locks on the inside of that drum, so it engages everything. Okay, I finally got that loose. It's just a good tight fit. It's a keyed shaft. Let's see. Spin that so you can see the keys. Maybe. Right there. It's got two of them in there. It's kind of weird. This is how that clutch works. I'm going to be able to push it by hand, I don't think. No. That lever forces that in, spreads these and locks that in place. Lots of wear on that. Interesting. Okay, now I think I can move this damn guard. Looks like we got 3 bolts holding it in place. Come off nice and easy. Excuse my head. Okay, now I think we can remove this. With that fucking fork will give me problems there. Hey, what a pain in my ass.